Hey, welcome to our sip and study. That's where we talk about a particular tea that I'm sipping on, and then we are going to study something that's going to help us live a longer, healthier life out loud on purpose with intentionality, right? So today I'm drinking peppermint, and we talked about this yesterday on the Teas with Purpose Thursday. We talked about peppermint and how it is awesome for energy and for focus. It's good for weight management. It's awesome for upset stomach and cramps. It's good for so many things. We drink it as a tea in my household, but you can also use it in your bath. You can use it as inhalation if you stopped up and congested. You can boil, make some tea and actually use it as a steam to help you release the mucus, thin it, and all kinds of stuff. Peppermint is absolutely amazing. If you want to know more about peppermint, check out the Teas with Purpose Thursday segment, um, where we talked about more herbal actions and more about what it's good for. Okay, absolutely amazing. So today we're going to look at joint pain, memory loss, and weight management. So this past week I had the honor of sitting with some wisdom ladies, 60 plus, and that's what we were talking about: joint pain, memory loss, and weight management. And it was so amazing because these are simple things that we can kind of do to ensure that we're on the level that we need to be when it comes to our joint pain, lowering the joint pain, boosting our cognitive function, and making sure that we are where we want to be for our weight management, whether it's being a steady gaining or losing, right? Um, so it was absolutely amazing. So I wanted to bring that to us tonight. That's what I wanted to study. Okay. So it's not just for 60 and up. We need to be doing this now, no matter what your age is, right? So that if you don't have joint pain, you won't get joint pain, right? Or if you do have joint pain, it will lower it. So if you don't have memory issues, which I'm not sure who doesn't these days, even the young folk can't remember anything, but it'll help with cognitive function. And then weight management is something that we've talked about before. So I won't spend a lot of time on weight management because we talked about boosting the metabolism, suppressing the appetite, aiding digestion. That video is a sip and study video, and you can watch that on the YouTube channel as well. So I won't spend too much time on weight management, but the three things that will help the joint pain, the memory loss, and the weight management are sleep. And a lot of people look at me crazy when I say that, but we're going to get into it. Sleep, mobility, and of course, nutrition. Okay. So, how does sleep affect joint pain, memory loss, and weight management? So, when you sleep, your body heals, repairs, restores all of your body's systems. Okay. So if you're dealing with a lot of stress, right? When you deal with stress, your body releases cortisol, which is a hormone. That hormone opens the door for inflammation. If you are always stressed, which is called chronic stress, the cortisol is always being released, which leads to inflammation, chronic inflammation, which is what opens the door for a lot of chronic illnesses. Okay. So when you're asleep, your mind is supposed to be turned off. Now, if you're not getting adequate sleep, or you're dreaming, or you're having nightmares or interrupted sleep, you're not getting the sleep that your body is in need of in order to repair, restore, and heal, right? But when you are getting the sleep that you are supposed to be getting, whatever's adequate enough for you, some people live off 5 hours, some people need 10, 12, or more, right? So depending on what your body needs, if you're getting the sleep that is required, then when it comes to joint pain, your mind is turned off. So your stress levels should go down, which means your body is releasing less cortisol, which will improve the inflammation, which will improve the pain that's associated with the inflammation. So when you wake up in the morning, you should have less joint pain or no joint pain. Okay. Now, this is just in general. I know there are other cases to where this does not work, but in general, this is how sleep helps your joint pain. Okay. When it comes to cognitive function, when you are sleeping, your mind is supposed to be off, right? And when you're sleeping, your mind actually, what is the name of that movie? The Emotions movie, where they have sadness and anger, depression. It's a kids movie. I can't think of the name of it right now. But it shows where, you know, your mind, when you're sleeping, it puts long-term memories here, short-term memories there. It kind of categorizes your memories. And so when you wake up, your memories have been sorted and you can recall them easier. So it helps with your memory if you get enough sleep. Okay. Weight management. Again, when you sleep, your body is regulating the body systems. And so when it comes to your metabolism, your body regulates your metabolism so that it is operating appropriately, so that you're not retaining so much fat. You're able to release it easier. So it boosts your metabolism, which is one of the things that you need when it comes to weight management, right? All things work together. These aren't the only things that you need to do, but this is a good start. It's by getting your body the sleep that it needs, right? If your body is getting the sleep it needs, then when you wake up, your body should be just about in balance. Now, what you do throughout that day can throw your balance off. But sleep is one of those things that kind of resets your body on an everyday basis. So if you're not getting enough sleep, you're going to have more memory loss. You're going to have more joint pain, and you're going to have more issues with weight management. Okay. The other thing we talked about was mobility. Now, when you say exercise, people think of lifting weights and, you know, trying to run a marathon, and we're not doing all of that, right? General body movement every day, right? Be intentional about stretching, be intentional about moving, maybe walking around the house or walking around the block, cycling, swimming. You need some sort of movement daily, okay? When you don't move and you say, well, I go to work, I walk to work, but you're not intentional about that. You're just kind of doing it at your pace. And you probably not even walking fast enough for your heart to speed up, right? That's how you exercise your heart, is by making it pump, right? So if you're not walking at a steady pace, it's not helping you, right? You have to do intentional exercise. So being intentional about stretching in the morning. That they say you about 150 minutes a week of aerobic exercise is supposed to help you tremendously. That's about 20 minutes a day, right? And if you're stewarding your time well, right, you can squeeze in 20 minutes for your health. You can do that, right? If it's going to help you live a longer, healthier life without an illness, won't you do it? Won't you do it? Right? So mobility, moving your body. When your body is stagnant, you're not moving, everything becomes stiff. Your blood is stagnant. It's not moving freely. Everything is stuck in one position. So, of course, when you try to move it, it's not going to be easy. You're going to have some resistance. You're going to have some pushback. It ain't going to feel too good, right? That's where consistency comes into play. We're not trying to jump right on out there and do something that you ain't done in 50 years. Just kick your feet in the mornings, get the blood flow going through your legs, move your hands, especially if you have arthritis, right? Stretch them. Be intentional about it. Get a stress ball, right? Stretch. Hands above your head. Stretch, stretch, stretch like you try to touch the sky. Touch your feet. Stretch out your spine, right? Small things. You don't have to start If you at 0, don't try to start at 50. Definitely don't try to start at 100, but don't try to start at 50. Start at 5, right? And you're like, oh, okay, that's easy. This builds up your confidence, because if you jump out there just, okay, I'm going to walk 5 miles, and then you don't make it 5 miles, and then now oh, I couldn't even walk 5 miles. No. Calm down. Little bit at a time. Don't overwhelm yourself, because if you overwhelm yourself, you become frustrated, you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do none of it, because this part didn't work. Y'all know I'm right. We try to do something, it didn't work. Oh, I quit. Or, right? Or we got to take this thing a little at a time. So if you're not doing any type of movement right now, then just start with touching your toes. You might not be able to touch your toes, that's okay. But every day, just kind of lean up how far you can go. Stay there for 20 seconds. Get up. Do it again. 20 seconds. Get up. Do it again. Right? Until there's less pain. And then you can do it for a longer period of time. You might be able to go down even further. Now we have body exercises. What about mental exercises? That's important too, right? Think on these things, Philippians 4:8 tells us. The things that are going to make you smile, the things that are going to make you move, right? We got to always focus on this stress, because that's where stress comes from, right? We're always thinking about what we got to do. It's always something to do. Always. I don't care what it is. You'll never be done with your to-do list, okay? So if you're always thinking about, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to go here, I got to go there, I got to pick this up, I got to pick them up, you're running your brain ragged. You're aging your brain before it's time. You need to be intentional about allowing your brain to rest even outside of sleep. Not all the time, because I know we got things to do. But as much as you worry, right, you need to kind of balance that out with some other things, like putting a puzzle together, playing a game on your phone, not too long, because that light bothers your eyes and that could cause issues as well. Do a crossword puzzle, do a seek and find, right? What other things can you do to keep your mind focused on something other than everything that's going on in your life? Give your mind the time to rest, okay? Because if you don't, you're going to suffer from memory loss, because your mind's just all over the place and it's trying to keep up with itself. And so it loses the memories because there's no time to appropriately put them where they're supposed to go. Okay? So memory loss is connected to the mobility and the exercise of your mind. Joint pain is relieved when you move every single day. It helps your bones. It helps your body to move every single day. You'll have less pain. That's what we want, right? Less pain. And weight management, exercise, physical exercise is going to help weight management, because you're going to burn calories, right? So it's going to help with that. And then nutrition. I ain't going to go down my rabbit hole. I'm not. But I will say this, when it comes to nutrition, one of the worst things that you can put in your body on an everyday basis is sugar. Sugar directly affects your joint pain, your cognitive function, and your weight management. Directly affects it. So if there was nothing else that you was going to do when it comes to nutrition, eliminate sugar, or at least lower it to the point of minimalization, very minimum sugar, right? If you are craving sugar, let me say it's not you that's craving it. It's the parasites that have gathered in your digestive system that's craving it, because that's what they feed off of is sugar. So it's not you craving it, it's your body. The parasites in your body that's craving the sugar. So if you're having sugar cravings, that means your body is telling you it's time for a cleanse. It's time for a detox. It's time for a fast. What is your body telling you? Okay. Meat, red meat. If you have any type of joint pain, red meat is going to exacerbate that pain and the inflammation. So if you have red meat, you might want to, if you have a joint pain, you might want to reduce your intake of red meat. It will help tremendously with your joint pain. Tremendously. Okay. And then with weight management, what you eat definitely shows up in your gut, in your thighs, in your butt, and everything else, right? So eating the right foods helps you to manage your weight appropriately to whatever level that you want it on. Okay. So that's our studies for tonight. It's just, be mindful that your joint pain, your cognitive function, your weight management can all be helped if you're getting enough sleep, you're being intentional about your mobility and movement, and being intentional about what you are eating. Okay? Biggest things is sugar and red meat for me. Those is I'm not the one, I'm not the herbalist, I'm not the health and wellness practitioner to say go vegan, be vegetarian. I believe that if we reconnect with our bodies, we listen to what our bodies are telling us, then we'll be able to move forward appropriately by giving our body what it needs versus only what we want. Because what we want ain't good for us all the time. So what your body needs, it's telling you. And if you're paying attention, you can give it what it needs and it can house your spirit a little bit longer, right? Without pain, without suffering. It was not God's design that we suffer before we die. We don't have to die that way. A lot of times we're not getting the sleep we need, we're not moving, and we're eating whatever we want, and then we complain about having these chronic illnesses. Let's do something about it beforehand. Move today. Eat no meat today. You know what I'm saying? No sugar today. Movement today. Sleep today. Right? Get you some rest. Put the phone on the floor and get you some rest. Okay? All right. So if you have any questions or concerns, definitely reach out to me. And I'll be back next Friday with our next sip in study. Have a great weekend.